So, good day everyone. Today I will be discuss about my topic, which is the mathematical reasoning to real life situations that involve ethical decision making and equal sharing. So, our lesson objectives today about my discussion is all about uh, first is define ethical decision making and its importance in everyday life. Second, identify key ethical principles relevant to equal sharing, such as fairness, justice, and equity. So, our engage is resource allocation. So, I will be discuss this for us to have a deeper understanding about our engage, which is the resource allocation. So when we say resource allocation, it is the process of assigning and managing resources to different tasks or projects. So as a future teacher, or imagine that we're already a teacher, so then your uh, subjects that you teach is about research din. Uh, grupo ka sa imong estudyante o group project research the same as our subject sa Rizal. And in our school, we have limited resources only. For example, we have 3 printers. So, this means that tulo ra ka tao ang makaprint at a time because of our 3 printers only. So 20 sheets of colored paper also. So our supply is very limited, and every needs is nagkinahanglan og colored paper for, of course, the research or the project. And we have already a 1 hour computer lab time. So you have only a limited time to work on computers, which might be needed for research or creating the project itself. So, what do you think is the challenge, no, sa inganing scenario? So, the possible research, is the possible challenge for our student is, of course, first is limited resources and individual needs. So, but sa atong students is we give them a goal, which is to ensure that everyone in the group has equal access to these resources to complete their project fairly. So for me, this is a challenge because as I said earlier, because of our limited resources of mga individual needs. So, in limited resources, dili tanan is maka-use of printers because it is limited, and some might need more colored paper, and some might require more computer lab time, diba? So, but as a teacher, we need to give them ethical consideration. So the challenge there is to find a solution that is fair to everyone. So I will give about some ethical considerations for us to have a deeper understanding about the resource allocation. So first of our ethical consideration is equal opportunity. So when we say equal opportunity, everyone should have a chance to use the resources, even if they need them for different amounts of time. Second is transparency. When we say transparency, the group should agree on a system for allocating resources so everyone understand how decisions are made. So it is important to understand, diba, para mas dali o mas mapaspas ang atong mga gibuhat nga sa research. So flexibility, of course, it is important. We should have plan to be how to be flexible enough to adapt unexpected needs or delays. Uh, we need to the challenge for our students is to then naara pod sila small groups kay limited raman atong mga resources, so they need to brainstorm solutions. So each group should present their plan and explain why they think it's fair. So this allows students to develop problem solving skills. It is important this in the group work, so they must think creatively to find solutions that work for everyone. So second is communicate effectively. Dapat when we are in a group project, we need to communicate effectively with understanding and supporting each other kung unsay mga happenings sa atong mga group projects. So in communication effectively, they need to work together and communicate their ideas clearly. So it is important that their ideas is clear for us to easily to understand para maka-cope up ta og mga exact lessons or how to solve our problems if we have in this scenarios. Or if you are a future teacher, how will you give your students to advise how to be effective to them in this scenario. So learn about fairness and equity. So they consider the needs of all group members and strive for fair outcomes. So what do you think is the possible solutions for these scenarios? If you have your students na aray mga limited resources when it comes to their group project research. So dapat I will give you some ideas for groups. So for us to have understanding about our engage which is the research allocation. So the first of possible solutions is time slots. So time slots, we need to divide the hour of computer lab time into equal slots for each group member. So printing rotation, set up a system where students take turns printing, perhaps with a time limit for each print job. Na dapat sa ug mag-use sila ingani is as a teachers, we need to give them a time para naay fairness. Kay nay uban dali mahuman, then naguban pagkagamit. So nay possibilities nga ang uban is dili mahuman sa ilang project, kay ang uban is wala pa ka-use og mga needs nga mga resources. Then second is paper allocation. So decide on a fair amount of colored paper per students. So dapat kinahanglan nga mag-decide ta og pila ilang needs, dapat fair pod ang paghatag, or allow them to use the paper for a specific task only. Kay diba sa research is kas jud na og kwarta. Kay when during my grade 12 kas kayo kwarta, then kas kayo mga bond paper to use our research. Then we nakasolve mi nga dili na lang mi mag always use the bond paper. Instead, we can use our papers back to back ay sa kanang i-print sa i-print. Then para dili rami kas o kwarta. So kato is isa ka rason para dili mi kaayo makagasto og dako because we use our papers. Next is collaboration. So in a group works, it is important to have collaborations because for them to para madali ra ang ilang mga trabahoon kay madugay kung usa-usa ra ang mga trabaho. So in a group work project, it is important collaborations, of course, it is needed because collaborations as a future teachers, we need to encourage students to work together on tasks that can be done simultaneously, reducing the need for individual access to resources. So important notes because we are future teachers. Of course, a teacher must guides, or our students need our guidance. So the teacher should guide the groups, ensuring they considered all aspects of fairness and provide feedback on their solution. So dapat pod as a teacher is ug mupas na ang ato mga students puhon sa ilang mga project is dapat is natay immediate feedback for them to realize kung unsa pay mas need pa og mga improvements sa sunod pa nga ilang mga grupo. Kay in a real world application, this activity can be applied to many real world situations as we live in this world, so such as sharing resources in a workplace, planning group project for any subject. So our explore is the mathematics of equal sharing. Then I will be discuss about the mathematics of equal sharing for us to have a better understanding for this. So when we say the mathematics of equal sharing, it is equal sharing involves dividing a whole into equal parts. This is typically achieved through division or fraction. So in divisions, the most basic mathematical operation for equal sharing is divisions allows us to determine size of each share when a quantity is divided among a certain number of individuals. So for example, I have a pan making in our home, and we have 12 cookies are to be shared equally among 4 people because they have 2 friends among silingan. Each person must receive. So for example, when we ang mole ko sa among balay sa bukid, then I have a duha ka pag-umangkon, then I will bring there a pasalubong like biscuits, may nga na kasagaran jud ang dagon is mga biscuits kay pwede ra matunga-tunga. So I will bring for example, I will bring a Hansel, then ako'y duha ka pag-umangkon, then naa sila duha ka friends. So kanang inig kuan is mutabo na sila. So aho silang taga-Hansel, din naaman sila friends. So ahong i-explain nila nganong tag-isa sa sila. So ahong ipaingon is like my name o sa ahong name sa pagmangkon is kanang Jam. So si Jam kay kanang prelim naman to, katigo-tigo na. So ang inaon is Jam na kay kanang natay Hansel. Ang sud sa isa ka Hansel is 4 ka buok. Din naa kay ate. Din naa kay duha ka friends. So, para mapantay ang inyong pagkaon sa biscuits, tagpila man mo. So, ang pag-umangkon is makakup up nga tig 1 tita. So, for sa nga nga pamaagi is naapay fairness o nakasabot pa sila. As I example there is in our home is naami 12 cookies of need to be shared equally among 4 people. So ato ra na silang 12 divided by 4 is equal 3. So sa kada tao is na ay tagtulong nga cookies para na ay fairness. And fractions, fraction represent part of a whole, providing a visual and numerical representations of equal sharing. So for example, we'll give you an example. So, dividing a pizza into equal slices means its slice represent 1/8 of the whole pizza. Like, naay usa ka pizza. Then, gikaon ni Mario ang usa. Gitunga ni Mario og kawalo ug iyang gikaon ang usa. So, mauto nga ang numerator is 1 and the denominator is 8. Kay agikaon ni Mario ang usa which is mauto ang numerator. So the problem is next I will be explain for this topic. So these discussions, by the way, did you understand about the mathematics of equal sharing? In the mathematics of equal sharing, dapat atong i-remember always na in mathematics of equal sharing, we need to divide and or fractions also. So let's move on about my explanation. So these discussions explores the connection between mathematical reasoning and real life situations. So specifically focusing on ethical decision making and equal sharing within the context of teaching mathematics in primary grades. So we will examine how these concepts can be introduced and developed in young learners, fostering their understanding of fairness, justice, and responsible decision making. So, as a future teacher or as a teacher, it is important to teach our students about ethical decision making and equal sharing because they can use this in everyday life in a real world scenarios rather. So for us, our young learners must develop to have fostering their understanding about their fairness, justice, and responsible decision making. So the importance of mathematical reasoning in primary grades is mathematical reasoning is a crucial skill that goes beyond simply performing calculations. It involves the ability to think critically, analyze information, and make logical connections. In primary grades, this skill developed lays the foundation for future mathematical understanding and problem solving. By engaging students in real-life scenarios, teachers can help them to see the relevance and applications of mathematical concepts. So, as I said nga, mathematical reasoning in primary grades is a skill for us to involves the ability to think critically and analyze informations. When we gathered informations, it is important to analyze first before it shares to others para gatong ma-share nila is correct na nga information. So these skills develop lays the foundation for future mathematical understanding and problem solving. So in ethical decision making using math to make fair choices. So ethical decision making is an essential aspect of everyday life. Incorporating this into mathematics instruction provides opportunities for students to develop their moral reasoning and understanding of fairness. So here are some examples of how mathematical reasoning can be applied to ethical decision making in primary grade. So first is sharing resources. So in sharing resources, a simple scenario involving sharing limited number of toys or snacks among a group of children can be used to introduce concepts like divisions and fair distributions. So, students can use mathematical reasoning to determine how to divide the resources equally or proportionally, considering the needs and preferences of each individual. So this exercise helps them to understand the importance of fairness and the consequences of unequal distributions rather. So as I said earlier na naghatag ko example for my topic nga nag-share og snacks agahong mga pag-umangkon og nag-involve ko og divisions to have a fairness sa ilang mga snacks, biscuits, di ba? And Fairness is using math promotes fairness by providing a neutral way to resolve conflicts. So, para ma-avoid ang aways ang pagmamakon og sa iyang friends about the snacks is mauto ahong gi-divide para sila is naay fairness. Kay kasagaran sa mga bata is mag-away dyan na sila tungod sa pagkaon. So, it is better for us to have a concepts or real world scenarios for them to understand o maka-learn pa sila about the divisions because of our guidance o gato silang gitudloan. So, solving conflicts is when conflicts arise among students, teachers can use mathematical reasoning to help them find fair solutions. For instance, if two children are arguing over a particular toy, the teacher can guide them to use counting or measuring to determine what they toy for a longer period or play with it more recently. This approach helps students understand that there are objective ways to resolve conflicts based on evidence and logical reasoning. So, it is understandable about the solving conflicts. So, for example, as a teacher is naa kay students nga kasagaran is mga grade 1 or mga pre-elite students is mag-away dyan na sila tungod sa mga duwaan. So, the teachers must guide them, must to teach them of how to have a fairness in, of course, ato nang makuan diha ang time. Like, if I will become a teacher, then I have the students arguing about the toys inside our classroom. So, I will talk them immediately for them to really understand how to have fairness para sila is na sila fairness sa pagduwa sa duwaan. Like, if we have fidget toys in our classroom, so instead of relying on just feelings kay magilak-hilak man ng mga bata, so the teachers must introduce a math-based approach. So, para po, the kids understand that there can be objective evidence ways to solve. So, like, kinsa may una ni duwa o pila ka oras. So, counting. May involved diha ang counting and measuring. So, example, show how simple math concepts can be used to determine fairness. First is objective evidence. So, by using counter or measuring, the focus shifts from subjective feelings to objective evidence. So, this helps kids see that there might be a clear answer based on facts, not just opinions. Kaya daghan ba yung rason ng mga estudyante nga, teacher, ako may kanang karyot pa mo ko yan na teacher, gapon pa mo ko kaduwa yan na teacher. So, it is important nga mag-guide ka nila based imong issue in a real world scenarios together with your evidences. Of course, napod sila kauban nimo to solve the problem. So, then, the possible benefits for this o imo ning pakita nila in a real world scenarios is fairness. Using math promotes fairness by providing, as I said earlier, is maka-resolve or conflicts. Logical reasoning. It encourages children to think logically and use evidence to support their arguments. Aside sa ilang ma-realize, is maka-understand pa nila better. So, in problem solving, it teaches valuable problem-solving skills that can be applied to many situations beyond playground disputes. So, another example is a toy time. So, if two kids are arguing over a toy, the teacher can guide them to set a timer and see who had the toy for longer. Like my teachers before when I was in grade 1 is naato siya timer nga, nakalimot ko si pangan ingato nga timer, then kato iyang gamiton kung kinsay unang nga moduwa o pila ka oras o mahurot na po to is lain na pod para na ay fairness. So for sa katong iyang gibuhat is na-avoid na mo ang mga conflicts inside our classroom. So overall, for the solving conflicts is this approach shows that math isn't just about numbers, diba? It can be a powerful tool for building a more peaceful and fair environment for children. So by using math to solve conflicts, teachers can help kids learn valuable life lessons and develop skills that will benefit them throughout life. So na kuanra ang solving conflicts. So let's move on our making informed choices. So as students begin to understand basic economic concepts like cost and value, teacher can present them with scenarios involving making informed choices. So for example, a classroom store could be set up where students use play money to purchase items. They can then use mathematical reasoning to compare prices, calculate discounts, and make informed decisions about how to spend their money. This exercise helps them understand and the importance of making responsible choices and the consequences of financial decisions. So this passage describes a fun and practical way to teach kids about economics. So the idea is classroom store, diba? So creating a mock store in the classroom allows kids to experience real-world economic concept in a safe and controlled environment. So play money, like involved ta diri og play money. So using play money removes the pressure of real financial consequences. Like kanang sa pag-use na to play money is dili na maproblema ang students o unsay ilang gamiton nga kwarta, especially the kids is dili papaguniton sa mga parents og dangko nga kwarta. So making it easier for kids to experiment with different choices. So in decision making, students have to make choices about what to buy, considering factors like price, values, and discounts. So in math skills, the activity encourages kids to use math skills like calculating prices, discounts, and comparing values. Aside isa magtingsa sila critically o use sila og divisions para ma-calculate nila ang prices o pila pod ang discounts para makasave sila sa or makaibaw sila sa bayronon. So the benefits for this is understanding cost and value. So kids learn that things have different prices and that those prices reflect the value or usefulness of those items. So financial, aside sa maka-involve ka diri o kanang decision making, understanding cost and values, of course the importance also is the financial literacy. So this start to understand the importance of budgeting, spending wisely, and making responsible financial decisions. So para makasabot sila unsaon pag-budget first ang money, asa nila i-spend sa ila ba, it is important to teach them that much better kung unahon ang needs kaysa sa wants, especially the kids is ganahan og toys, pero mas better kung ilang ipalit og mga makaon nila during the snack times and making responsible financial decisions. So it is important nga ang mga kids sometimes sayo pa is matrain na how to use money or how to be financial literate. So in our kung dili sala nato matudloan is na consequences of choices. The activity shows of financial decisions of consequences, both positive and negative. Positive there is malipayon sila, but negative there is like mapalit sila utoy, today ra ilang duan, the next day dili na nila duaan, so dili useful kayo aside sa kung mapalit sila o pagkaon is sa mga biscuit or mga fruits, aside sa kanang ma-enjoy sila, mas healthy pa sila. So real world application. So the classroom store provides a hands-on experience that helps kids connect economic concept to real life situations. Like as I said earlier, during the teacher, during their discussions, they must allow their students to have a Mac store to buy some wants to them like foods or mga toys. Then aside sa yan na is tudluan sa ni teacher unsaon pag divide para ilang makasabot sila o ilang ma-use this in everyday life of living. So imagine another example is, imagine a classroom store with 3 items, like nag-allowed si teacher o nagpagama o Mac store during their classes, like na pencil, na eraser, na candy. Din ang pencil is 10 cent, eraser is 5 cent, candy is 20 cent. So as students with 30 cent of play money could buy 3 pen. Unsa man makabay sila og 3 pencils, they get more items but might not have enough for anything else later. Buy 1 candy and 2 eraser, they get a variety of items but might regret not buying more pencil later. Save their money, they learn the value of saving and might be able to buy something more expensive later. So overall, this activity helps kids develop essential economic and financial skill in a fun and engaging way. So by making choices in the classroom store, they learn about the importance of responsible spending and the consequences of their financial decisions. So setting them up for success in managing their money in the future. So that's all about my topic 1, and let's move on to topic 2, equal sharing, developing a sense of justice. Equal sharing So, equal sharing, developing a sense of justice. So, equal sharing is a fundamental concept that fosters a sense of justice and fairness among children. So, in primary grades, teachers can use various activities and games to teach students about equal sharing and its importance. So, here are some example sharing games. So, games like sharing cookies or dividing candy can be used to introduce basic division concepts while emphasizing the importance of ensuring everyone gets an equal share. Students can use manipulatives like counters or blocks to represent the items, being shared and practice dividing them equally among the players. So, games like sharing cookies or dividing candy. So, mag-involve ta diri og mga kids or students. Sharing cookies like sang sample ganiha nga we have 12 cookies, then upat mi kabuok. So, pila man ang ma-share na mo matag usa. So, it is a very simple. O kuan nato dira ang divide. So, 12 divided by 4 is 3. So, sa matag usa namo na ay tag 3 cookies or dividing candy. So, for example, ang pag-umangkon for your students is or ari na lang tas ang pagmangkon, like if I have a candy, 10 pieces of lollipop, then ako duha ka pag-umangkon, silang paduolo na ho. First, ahong inaon na Cham and Cyril, titas have 10 lollipops. Then first mo kuan sa lollipop is dapat mag-involve ta og division. So first, ahong ipaihap nila ang lollipop 1 to 10. So para nila ahong ipakuan og tagpila man sila kabuok. So ilang ipon na amin na po ka lollipop o duha ra sila magtunga. So ang ipaihap nila ang 10 or magpa-divide ko nila 10 divided by 2 is 5. Ay 5 times 2 is 10. So, ang pag-umangkon, use manipulative like counters or it's either another things nga ilang mas use aside sa lollipops is na blocks to represent the items being shared and practice dividing them equally among the players. Especially the teachers might use these counters or blocks to represent the items para pod malis ang gastos. So, let's move on real life scenarios. So, teachers can create real-life scenarios that involve equal sharing, such as dividing a group of students into teams for a game or activity. Students can use mathematical reasoning to determine how many members should be one team. Should be on each team to ensure equal representations and fair competition. So, real life scenarios instead instead of just abstract math problems, teachers use situations that kids encounter in everyday life. This makes learning more relevant and engaging. So, equal sharing involved na po diri nato ang equal sharing. So, the scenarios focus on the concept of dividing things fairly, which is fundamental principle in math and everyday life. So, team formation. So, example of forming teams for a game or activity is common situations where equal sharing is crucial for fairness and level playing field. So, math skills, kids use math to figure out how many members should be on each team to ensure equal representation. This involves division, understanding remainders, and potentially rounding numbers. So, the benefits is fairness. Kids learn the importance of treating everyone fairly and ensuring that everyone has an equal chance to participate. And problem solving. They develop problem solving skills by figuring out how to divide a group into equal teams, even if the number of students isn't perfectly divisible. In a real-world application, this activity helps kids see how math is used in real-life situations, making it more meaningful and relevant to their lives. Teamwork. The activity can encourage teamwork as the students work together to figure out of the fairest way to divide themselves into teams. So, example of real life scenarios is, let's say there are 25 students in a class and they need to form teams for a game. So here how much can help for us to understand about the real life scenarios. So divide. The teacher can guide the students to divide 25 by the number of teams so they want to form. So for example, if they want 5 teams, 25 divided by 5 equals 5 students per team. So remainder, if the number of students isn't perfectly divisible, there will be a remainder. For example, if they want 4 teams, so 25 divided by 4 equals 6 with a remainder of 1. So this means 3 teams would have 6 students and 1 team would have 7 students. So overall, by using real-life scenarios like team formation, teachers can help kids develop a deeper understanding of math and its importance in ensuring fairness and equality in everyday life. Problem-solving skills or problem-solving activities rather. So teachers can present students with problem-solving activities that involve equal sharing, such as dividing a group of objects into equal piles or distribution of certain amount of money among a group of people. So these activities encourage students to think critically, apply their mathematical skills, and develop a sense of fairness and justice. So instead of just memorizing math facts, kids are given real-world scenarios that require them to think critically and apply their math skills to find solutions. Equal sharing. The focus is on dividing things fairly among a group, whether it's object, money, or even the task. Practical examples. The examples given are common situations that kids might encounter in their daily lives. So, the same ra sa mga example ganina. So, benefits is critical thinking. Kids learn to analyze problems, maka-analyze ra dayon ang mga atong students or even the kids. Then, they will identify what needs to be divided and determine how to do it fairly. Mathematical skills. They practice essential math skills like division, multiplication, and sometimes even fractions or decimals, depending on the complexity of the problem or the scenarios. Fairness and justice. The activities emphasizes the importance of treating everyone equally and sharing resources freely. This promotes a sense of justice and empathy. Real-world relevance. These activities connect math to real-life situations, making it more meaningful and engaging for students. So, for example, sa mga example ganina is katong dividing 12 cookies and 4 friends. So, how many cookies does each friends get? So, answer is 3 cookies each. So, sharing money. If 3 friends want to buy a toy that costs 9 pesos, how much money should each friends contribute? So, answer is 3 each because 3 times 3 is 9. So, naay fairness. So, equal work. If 5 students need to make poster for a school event, how can they divide the work fairly so everyone does the same amount? So, of course, the answer in this is each students could make one poster, or they could decide to work together on different parts of the poster and then combine teams. Overall, about the problem-solving activities is these problem-solving activities combine math skills with real-world scenarios to help kids develop a strong sense of fairness and justice while simultaneously strengthening their mathematical abilities. It's a win and win because they can learn because because the way they teach for them, our pagumangkod or even our students, because we are a future teacher. So connecting math to real life, building meaningful connections. So by connecting mathematics concept to real life situation involving ethical decision making and equal sharing, teachers can help primary students develop a deeper understanding of the subject matter. This approach not only fosters their mathematical skills, but also promotes their social and emotional development, equipping them with the tools to make informed and ethical choices in their lives. So, it is crucial that these concepts are not just about numbers and calculations. They are about building a foundations for responsible citizens and fostering a sense of community where everyone feels valued and respected. By incorporating these elements into mathematics instructions, develop a strong sense of fairness, justice, and ethical reasoning. So, elaborate beyond simple division. So, we have a scenario. It is the mystery box. The division is students are divided into groups of 4 to 5. So, the task is each group receives a closed box or containing a collections of objects like feather, piece of string, a small toy, and button. So, they cannot see inside the box. So, the challenge, so groups must work together to figure out what's inside the box without opening it. So, they can use their sense, like, 5 senses, or touch, smell, is touching, smelling, hearing, diba? Or even the sounds, masense na nila. And the reasoning skills to make a hint or deductions. So, beyond simple divisions, this activity encourages collaboration, sport, critical thinking, and problem solving. It requires students to communicate effectively, share ideas, and work together to reach a conclusion. So, let's not forget that during our group works, it is better to have a collaboration, communicate effectively, sharing ideas, and work together to reach conclusions for our problem. So, next is evaluate. If I am a teacher, then I will discuss this topic. I will be evaluating my students, like magpa-test ko nila, mag-give ko nila quizzes. Then, if I have a 40 students, then magpa-answer ko nila. Then, ang tan-aon kung pila ang CPL kung nakapasar ba sila. Then, kung wa is magbalik ko o discuss for them to really understand about the topic kung nakapasar pa sila. So, that's all guys. My evaluate is silang tagaan or test, quizzes, and exams, or even the group works, and then I will get the CPL kung nakapasar ba sila. That's all guys. Thanks for listening or thanks for watching my video.